Greetings, this is the third and final game of my New Year's quad at Rahway Chessmates. This game is against Grandmaster Leonid Yudasin, and let's just jump right into it. I played e4, as always. Someday I might surprise you with d4, or c4, or knight f3, or some odd move like b3, but probably not very likely. I like e4. Play Sicilian. Like I said, all three games in this tournament were the Sicilian. c3 again. I like this move. I'm going to make a video specifically on this opening, so stay tuned. Plays knight f3. Last game against Arthur, National Master Arthur Mekaspak. I think that's how you pronounce it. Featured d4. d5. Other main line. This main line is knight f3. e5, knight d5, d4, cd. Now, in a few games, I've tried the risky queen takes pawn. I beat a 2100 player with this opening, but I also lost some horrific games against other players with this opening. It's very risky. You're neglecting development. Your queen gets kicked around. It's fun, but you can get in a lot of trouble. So I went with the main line, which is knight f3. Obviously, no one above 1500 is ever going to take the pawn. Probably no one above 1200, except maybe in a blitz game is going to play pawn takes, which would allow queen takes knight. Obviously, certainly not a grandmaster. Plays knight c3, c takes d, and d6, which is the main line. Bishop c4. Oh, let me switch the engine on. And knight e6 was played. I castle. Why not? Knight b6, hitting the bishop. Bishop comes back to b3, and takes pawn. I take back, and he takes the queens off. So I'm happy with my position. I have a slight space advantage. The light squared bishop, as in the last game, is not doing so well. He puts it on b7. It's doing slightly better now. And I play bishop e3. I could play knight c3, but I had an idea in mind with this move. Hitting the knight here. I wasn't quite sure where he could go. Obviously, he can't go here because I'll take twice. Oops, sorry about that. Going back is extremely passive, but the guy's a grandmaster, so came up with a move that kind of caught me off guard. Although looking at it now, it makes perfect sense. Counter-attacking. If I play bishop takes knight, he's going to take back, and now he's threatening to win this bishop. You know, looking at that, maybe I should have played that way. It's my move again. Obviously, if it was his move, he could take this and win a piece for free. So probably knight b2. So this is okay for me, but I didn't play that way. I played knight b2 right away, and he played bishop e7. So I'm pretty happy here. I'm 13 moves, almost 14 moves deep against a grandmaster, and I've got a slight advantage. Rook ac1, and he takes the bishop. So he's got the two bishops, but I say screw the two bishops. I'm going to make it my aim to get really good with knights, because everyone and their grandmother, from like 1200s up to grandmaster, seems to like the two bishops. Always talks about the two bishops, say the statistics favor the two bishops. I say the statistics favor the guy who's prepared. I don't really care about the statistics, so I'd like to get really good with my knights. And if I would have been a little better with my knights, I would have won the first game of this quad, which I had 2 videos ago. I was pretty good with my knights, actually, and with my pieces in general, and I won a piece, although I did go on to lose that game. But I'm not worried about the 2 bishops, even against such a strong player. Plays knight d5. This is a really nice square for the knight. My knights aren't in a position to kick him, and I don't have a light squared bishop to take him. I played bishop to c5, so I want to put my knight there, you know, just a sample line. Obviously, Grandmaster is not going to play this way, but if castles, I have my choice of good moves. I can play rook takes, knight, e takes, and then bishop takes. Although even better, actually, is bishop takes, knight takes, and rook takes. Because now I have my rook on the 7th rank. But obviously, a Grandmaster is not going to fall for this. He plays b6, which isn't that great actually. I could play bishop takes e7, you know, but and get kind of a normal position. He could take back with the king or the knight. But you know, I don't want a normal position against a Grandmaster because the guy's going to crush me. I'd rather try to go for some sort of edge. So I play bishop d6, and he takes and I take. So I've got this pawn, which if I can manage to queen it or force him to give up some sort of edge, material, or put himself in a bad position, then this is his strength. Although if he can surround this pawn and win it, obviously then I'm pretty much lost because I'm a pawn down. He castles, and I play knight bd4. This move's okay, I guess. Fritz keeps changing its mind about what it thinks is the best. Knight e5, knight bd2, h3. Come on, Fritz. Screw Fritz. I played knight bd4. Rook to f to d8. Grandmaster Yudasin criticized himself for this move. Later, I played knight to c6, and he trades. f6, g3, with the idea of preventing the knight coming in here. Any back rank stuff, I'll have a spot for my king. He plays rook d7, knight d4, king f7, and rook e1. He plays e5, defending against me taking this, and I play knight to b5. Here he plays rook a d8, and after the game, Yudasin recommended a3, which is also Fritz's first choice. Just almost putting black in Zugzwang. Black can't move his knight anywhere. And yeah, there's not really a whole lot for him to do. If he plays king to here, I have knight c7 check, and if he takes, d takes, that's check. I'll show you that type of variation again later. So he's kind of reduced to making pawn moves here, g pawn or h pawn. Yeah, let's see if he tries to kick the knight. No, this is okay for him. Knight c7, knight takes, and d takes, and there's no check on the king. So rook c8, rook ec1, and according to the computer, this is kind of drawish. You can move either the A or the B pawn. If I take, he takes. Say I take, he takes. Rook b. Oops, not that. Rook b6. You can play rook c5. And pawns are equal. That's probably going to be a draw. So I should have played a3 here. Instead, I played rook d1. And now black's a little better. A lesser player might have played king e6, which is a horrible blunder, similar to what I showed you before. Exclamation point move, knight c7 check. If the king moves away, I'm going to take the knight. If the knight takes, bam, check. And next move, I'm going to get a queen. Or get a queen right there, and that's mate in a certain number of moves. But obviously the Grandmaster is not going to give me that. Knight e7, and nothing really much better than this. Rook here, rook takes, knight takes. If pawn takes, I'm going to lose my rook, and I'm not going to be able to queen. So I take with the knight, knight here, knight b5, defending the pawn for now. a6 and g4. If he takes my knight, I'm going to take his knight. Is that sufficient? No, because the excellent move, knight to d4. Grandmaster move by Grandmaster. Absolutely enough. After he doesn't take back, instead he pins it, and I'm going to lose it anyway. And I start falling apart here. Rook c1 takes the knight. It's here. Oopsie, my g4 pawn out of the way. Rook b4, b3, a5. King tries valiantly to have some purpose in life, but it's really no chance for him to survive here. King e6, rook h3 and h4. My idea was to try to harass the rook, but it's not really going to do anything because rook will just come here, and after f3 my rook is probably going nowhere for the rest of the game. So hey, the guy's a grandmaster, what are you going to do? He was very complimentary after the game and told me that at this point, where were we? At this point, if I would have played a3, I would have had a slight advantage. Probably I still would have lost, because I'm 1900 and this guy's 2600, but you know, learning something every time I play, and I was pretty happy to get 1 out of 3 in a quad with players of such caliber, and hopefully you learned something from this lecture and enjoyed it on watching.